My Crystal Patriots, I am sure you are all wondering why Empress Cadence would even allow this election. And I will tell you right up front, I forced her hoof in this matter. For the sake of peace, your wise Empress has agreed to grant me this one opportunity to speak to you, and to give you a choice of who would rule over you. And though you surely won't believe it, I tell you truth. I will honor your will in this matter. As I look at you now, the anger and the fear you feel towards me is self-evident, and it would rightly seem that I stand no chance of victory. And given what little you remember about me and our mutual history, I will not for a moment say that your malice is undeserved. I used sorcery to enslave you and force you to fight Equestria. But I will also state the obvious, that not one of you remembers why I did it. Your memories are gone, my Crystal Patriots, and you deserve to know why they are gone. But, before I go on, let me say up front that I bear no malice towards Princess Cadence. She has taken good care of you, has she not? But even so, no matter how hard she tries to be one of you, she can never really understand what it means to be a Crystal Pony, because, my Crystal Patriots, she does not share a bond with the Crystal Heart like we do. You were all presented at birth to the Crystal Heart to forge your eternal bond with it, and due to my strange birth, I have the distinct privilege of being born to that bond. So we share an understanding that outsiders like Celestia and Cadence never have. Celestia, for her part, believes that it is impossible for me to restore your memories, which is why she has no fear of me speaking with you. And she's right. I do not have the power to restore your memories because I am not the one who stole them. And because you have no memories of the time before your enslavement, Celestia knows you can never trust anything I say to you, because everything you can remember about me is evil. And that is the only reason she's allowing this election. But I do have one last way to redeem myself in your eyes, a choice that Celestia in her ignorance could not have anticipated. I cannot restore what was taken from you, my people, but here, in the presence of the Crystal Heart, I can open my heart to you, and share my own memories with you. You will see all that I have seen, and know all that I have known, and through my past, perhaps even recover some small part of your own. Search my heart, my Crystal Patriots, see the truth of what happened during the Crystal War, then judge for yourself whose head should be on a pike.
Run!
Crystal Ponies will pay for this outrage. I stole their memories to spare their lives. Can they not see that? This is the thanks I get for my mercy? I should have exterminated them the moment they returned from the Shadowlands. I will not make the same mistake I made the last time. I will raise the army and return to cleanse Sombra's corruption from the earth before he can recover his power or rearm the Crystal Empire. I am beginning to understand my father's wisdom. Some enemies cannot be allowed to live. Those who refuse to bow to the light of compassion and tolerance must be exterminated. It is the only way to restore harmony to the world. I shall bring Ghidra to the Crystal Empire. He shall break Sombra, and exterminate every last Crystal Pony, and leave only blood and ashes to be buried beneath the northern snow. Are you listening to me, Luna? Luna!
Discord. Ghidra, what do you want, Discord? Your father believed in the animator. I was curious if you did too. The animator? Yes, Discord, I do believe in the animator. So, you really believe there is some fellow up in the sky that made everything and is making us all dance on his strings? To begin with, it is not that the animator exists in the sky. It is the sky that exists in the animator, along with everything else in our universe. Secondly, even though we all live, move, and have our being in and through the animator, it is not correct to say we dance on his strings. We have a choice, Discord. Really? So where is this animator of yours? Have you ever seen him? As the animator created our universe, he must logically exist outside of it. As such, it might be possible to see some sort of avatar the animator creates in our universe, but it will never be possible to see the animator directly. Oh? And what does this avatar look like? You? Such an avatar would have no logical limits on its appearance or nature. It could look like me, or you, or something entirely absurd, such as a talking bush or a spacefaring spaghetti monster. We are bound by the laws of this universe. The animator is not. And have you seen any of those things? To my knowledge, I have not had the honor of such a visitation. So you believe in the animator, even though you have never seen him? How can you know he is even real then, and not just a figment of your imagination? Do you really believe it is necessary to directly observe something to know it is real? Can you directly observe gravity? No, you cannot, because gravity is a curvature in space-time, and not an actual force or particle. But even so, I can very comfortably infer that gravity must exist on the basis of the effect it has on all things in nature. In a similar fashion, it is impossible to directly observe the animator, because he exists outside of our space-time. However, by observing the nature of the universe, we can comfortably conclude that he must exist. That is just ridiculous. Oh? Then please enlighten me on the not ridiculous explanation for the inconceivable complexity we observe in nature, especially life itself. Don't mind if I do. The universe arose from the random forces of nature. Life is nothing more than a highly improbable event. You don't need some sort of invisible boogeyman to explain the universe, just a lot of time and lucky accidents. The random forces of nature. Well, I suppose I should have expected that from you. Tell me, Discord, have you ever seen it? Seen what? A living creature being created by a series of lucky accidents. Have you ever seen a new living organism arise from inorganic material? Have you ever seen life be created by anything other than already living things? Well, no. Then how do you know your explanation for life is real, and not just a figment of your absurd imagination? Oh, touché, Ghidra. Touché. But, since my explanation is wholly based on the material world, I might be able to prove it someday. You will never be able to prove your theory. To the contrary, Discord, it is because of the nature of the material world that I know for certain your theory is nothing more than modern mythology. You of all people should understand why, Discord. Is it not the nature of chaos to destroy complex systems over time? It is certainly not within its nature to create ever more complex ones. Do you see this dock, Discord? Yes? Is this dock the result of the random forces of nature, or deliberate design? Design, obviously. Can you see its deteriorated condition? Yes. Is that the result of design, or the random forces of nature? Nature? I doubt whoever built it wanted it to rot. Even though this dock is a very simple structure, composed of materials common in nature, it is still too complex for the random forces of nature to construct. We know this instinctively. That is why we know this dock is the result of deliberate design, even without ever seeing its creator. We also know intuitively that nature will not only never build a dock such as this, we know it will in fact be working constantly to destroy it. Even the simplest single-celled organism is inconceivably more complex than this dark discord. And living creatures are composed of complex organic molecules that are never created by the random forces of nature, and can only be found in already living creatures. In short, natural forces can't even create the nails and boards needed to build the Dark of Life, much less assemble them correctly. Discord, even if we took perfectly formed boards and nails in just the perfect number and size and tossed them into this very pool, I will say with absolute certainty, the random forces of nature will never build a dock out of them. Not even if they had a billion years to try. Because every time two boards randomly manage to arrange themselves correctly, the chaotic forces of nature would quickly break them apart again. Because it is in the nature of chaos to destroy, not to build. Chaos is the power of decay, not creation. Oh, really? Well, I use the power of chaos to create things all the time. Yes, Discord, but it is not because you possess the power of chaos that you can create. No, it is because you possess the one and only true power of creation. Intelligence. Consider the power of fire. In nature, fire is an absolutely destructive force, rending complex plants and animals into simple carbons. And yet, when it is harnessed by the intelligence of a skilled smith, fire can be used to power the literal forges of civilization. In similar fashion, you use your intelligence to turn the naturally destructive power of chaos into a tool for creation. Only the power of intelligence has demonstrated the ability to create meaningful order in a universe ruled by entropy. And because there is no power within our entropic universe capable of creating intelligence in the first place, an intelligence outside our universe must be responsible for the intelligence we now possess. Ironically, Discord, the very intelligence you use to argue against the animator's existence is the very proof of your folly. So, while I am willing to concede that the extra-universal nature of the animator is such that it is in fact impossible to prove that he exists through direct observation, I must state plainly, direct observation of the nature of the universe in fact proves the animator must exist. Have you ever lost an argument? I have no interest in winning arguments, Discord. I am only interested in the truth. As such, if you can demonstrate an error in my reasoning, I will bless you for it. However, I have spent my life considering and researching the nature of reality. It is therefore unlikely that my understanding of such things will ever be unseated by someone who cannot claim the same. However, what I cannot believe is that you are here because of a sudden interest in the animator. What is it you really want? Well, you have all the answers, so why don't you tell me? Really, Discord? So be it. You despise my company, so you must have a problem you believe only I can solve. And given the timing, I expect this problem has something to do with Fluttershy's ascension. Oh, do go on. Her ascension means that her commitment to Terra and the Abyssal Code are now absolute. And it also means her expectations of you have also changed. Until you showed up, things were going rather well for me. But now, I'm losing her, again, because of you! Discord, I helped to heal Fluttershy's ancient wounds and raise her to the heights of her potential. And all you can see is the cost to yourself. Even if you knew the outcome would be losing her, love would dictate that you do everything in your power to achieve the same result. If your feelings for her are truly this selfish, then you do not love her in reality and in truth. As such, your relationship was always doomed. I had to know if you really believed all the things that came out of your mouth. That's why I asked you about the animator. My dear father was a perfect hypocrite. He would preach the Abyssal Code to me, then go out and violate it whenever it pleased him to do so. So I was inclined to believe you were all hypocrites. So, I decided to go my own way and do whatever pleased me from moment to moment. A choice I have never had a cause to regret, until now. Fluttershy is a problem for you then. Because you know she speaks from the heart. You know that she speaks with the voice of terror. I have never known anyone more sincere than Fluttershy. In all my life, I've never believed anyone when they said they cared about me. Until I met her. As much as I want to, I cannot believe Fluttershy is trying to deceive me. So I know Fluttershy's element truly speaks to her, and shows her visions. But my element has never said anything to me. I've never had any visions, or any indication at all that my element is anything more than a source of power for my amusement. If it had... Discord, I assure you, you are mistaken. I promise you your element not only has been speaking to you, it has never ceased to speak to you. The problem is you are expecting it to speak to you on your terms, and that is not how the universe works. The universe does not function on your terms. You function on its terms. My element does on occasion reveal things to me in visions, but it is always speaking to me through the reality around me. Discord, it could even be I am the messenger your element has sent to you, to tell you the things that you need to hear. How did you get to be like this, Ghidra? You went to the same school I did. We both had Abyssal Lords as fathers. We were both born Abyssal Princes in the same city and in the same era. So how is it that we could be so different? Choice, Discord. You chose to abandon the truth, to pursue your own pleasures and avoid sorrow. I chose to embrace the truth, at the cost of my own pleasures and eternal sorrow. So now, I possess uncompromised wisdom, and you possess unparalleled folly. Make my choices and you will become like me. Just the same, if I made your choices, I would become like you. Yes, I suppose that must be true, which now puts me in a rather difficult position. In order to keep my heart's desire, I have to become what I have always despised. A true Abyssal. During Fluttershy's testimony at the trial, I realized she would require me to commit to the Abyssal Code. She could hardly do otherwise. So I did the only reasonable thing. I ran away. And I made it as far as the moon. I stood there, gazing at all the stars, imagining all the lives I could live on those faraway worlds. It was then that I realized the truth. I would rather trade every one of those lives for just one lived with Fluttershy. At last, Discord, you are beginning to realize what love really is. I really do hate you right now. So, what do I do now? You know the code, Discord. Keep it. It really is that simple. I don't have to believe all that stuff about the animator, do I? My father chose his words carefully, Discord. It is called the Abyssal Code, and not the Abyssal Creed, because those who commit to it are agreeing to a code of behavior, not a set of beliefs. All I have to do is keep the blood covenants. Well, that I can do, and for Fluttershy, I am willing to do it. Then you are no longer Discord, the petty Lord of Mischief. You are Droxid, the Abyssal Lord of Chaos, just as you were always meant to be. Would you mind if I stayed for a while? I think I need to sit down on this magic dock of yours. From this moment, you are always welcome to share my meditations, Droxid. For from this day, you are my brother of blood.
Ready, kid? Just try to keep up.
Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo were ambushed by a dragon. Rainbow Dash is badly injured and says that the dragon took Scootaloo.
Someone took Scootaloo? Who would dare?
His name is Torch. He's the king of the dragons.
The king of dragons?
Rainbow's in a terrible state. She feels responsible for this.
This isn't the fault of Rainbow Dash. I've let the ponies call me Ghidra. It was inevitable that the leader of this wild generation of dragons would challenge me for that name. I should have dealt with him a long time ago. But to kidnap my daughter is the act of a brigand, not a king. Direct me to the seat of this monster's power, and I will teach him the meaning of terror.
You lost, my little pony? He ain't no pony. He's got scales. But he has hooves. And look at the tail. He's got to be a pony.
I am the Prince of Terror.
I told you he's not a pony. You're the fool who's been taking the name of Ghidra? Oh, you're gonna lose the bet. He's scrawny. No way he can take on Ghidra.
Yeah. Hey, Ghidra! Dinner is served! Ha ha ha! This is he who would be Ghidra. Pathetic. Where is my daughter? Oh, she is still alive. I want her to watch me crunch your bones before she dies. Sweet as she is, she will make a nice dessert. If you had merely challenged me for the crown, I might have spared you. But you have laid claws upon my daughter, and for that, I can afford no mercy.
Oh, look at the horns on this one. Talking like that.
Just eat him, Ghidra. No point in dragging this out.
I see what you did there.
Now I will teach you the meaning of terror.
He don't know.
Hey, Prince of Stupid. Immortal magic doesn't work here. You're doomed if that's all you've got. Ha ha ha. Look around you. Sagira, the Fraud King. You don't even recognize this place, do you? This place that you created. It can't be. This is Haven? Maybe it was once, but now it is Hell, and I am its king. Whatever you did to damn this city has cursed the very stones. They suck up the magical elements like rivers are devoured by the sea. Your mortal power means nothing here. How do you think we have managed to defy the Great White Tyrant all of these centuries? There is no power here but dragon power. Tooth, claw, and fire, just as it should be. And look at you. Do you even remember what your true dragon self looks like? My father worshipped Abyssus, and he stupidly died trying to protect the son of Abyssus from Celestius. He died protecting you. You are the son of Erebar Shimono, the king's right hand? I am. Your father was a great dragon who understood the meaning of honor. He died well, defending his king and his honor. But you are no king. You have neither honor nor vision. Our people were once known as the Elders because of our wisdom and grace. Our civilization shined like a diamond among stones. Our magic and technology were the envy of all. It was our engineers who built the Great Gate that joined the stars into one empire and laid the foundations for Haven. You have led our people only to barbarism and savagery. You have abandoned your great heritage to hoard a few bits of gold in a desolate wasteland. You have become little more than beasts. Your father would weep to see what a pathetic wretch his son has become. Indeed, if it was he who was here, he would snap your neck himself. And what did civilization get us, Ghidra? Look around you. This is what your high wisdom and great understanding yielded. You call us savages, but you have been more savage than any of us could dream. You burned this city into a ruin. You destroyed the very civilization you claim to cherish, and then you would mock me for choosing not to walk in your path? It is because Celestius rejected my path that the city became a ruin, and it is because you rejected my path that the city remains a ruin. Celestius led the mightiest army the galaxy had ever seen against me, and it was not enough. And now here you stand among the very ruins of my enemies, and you can't see it. See what? That your own bones shall soon be numbered amongst the millions already here. Enough words. The only thing that comes from a dragon's mouth that matters is fire. So much for the Prince of Terror.
Pay up, loser.
No, wait. I don't think he's dead.
No way. Oh, shit!
Is this it? Is this all your power? How could it be that you stood before me without trembling? How can it be that you looked upon me without terror? Only now do you comprehend the magnitude of your failure. But as is all too often the case, understanding comes to you too late. In the heart of every great dragon sleeps a hunger and a rage that should never be awakened. You should have let sleeping dragons lie. Pay up!
Papa? Is that you?
I am sorry, my daughter. I never wanted you to see me like this.
Why not? You're awesome.
Aren't you frightened?
Those who know true terror fear nothing.
You are not just Ghidra. You are the Sabute-Ra, the king of all.
Woe be unto any who bear the things to you, for they shall be called Kozo Muso, bones of